This book was written with the idea that no one who was in these situations would be able to read it from cover to cover. My idea was they would have to sit the book down and think about their own stuff. You know? Some people are not going to be ready to face some of it. I know for many years, Imani used to send me books and I would just take them and throw them in the corner. Pow! For those of you who don't know, I went to prison when Ronald Reagan was president. And when I came out, George Bush was in his second term. So she sent a lot of books, and I threw a lot of books in the corner. And they were books, very good books now that I think about it, but they were books where it was describing techniques where I could envision myself sitting on the stream and this tree being over here to my right and leaves falling onto the stream, and put my problems on these leaves and let them float them. I'm saying, don't you know where I am? You know, this wasn't a concept I could grasp, just another book thrown in the corner. So I'm sure there's probably people throwing my book in the corner right now. This Facebook hit up, and this guy says something like, hey Hassan, just wanted to holler at you, man, and I appreciate you. You know, I got a lot to thank you for. He said, you never let the differences in our beliefs color what you offered me. He said, I'm clean and sober today. I got a life, man. I got a lot to be grateful for and owe you big thanks. Much love, brother. So I felt pretty good about that. So I go to his pictures. Boom, I hit his picture. And his picture pop up, he got a big old SWAT sticker on his chest. And some bolts, lightning bolts and everything. So I go to the little information section and he says, Nazi, under political views. I then said, Odinist. And I said, you also are in conflict because you just said to a black man, much love, brother. So the great thing about that is that wherever people have found themselves over a life of bad decisions and sometimes unfortunate influences, they can always make adjustments. But I just want to share the steps with you guys if I could, because they're really kind of simple. That doesn't make them easy, but they're not complicated. The first one is called own your own crap. It's about taking responsibility. And like I said, I usually work a rougher room, so y'all excuse the language sometimes. I'm going to really try to be mindful of, you know, tender ears, and we have some young ones in the back. But when I do my work, typically it's without filters. I saw a gentleman about a month ago at an event. His name was Paul Dean Jones. He's a retired judge from the Colorado Court of Appeals. And the first time I saw this gentleman, I was mediating a panel and he had come in late. So when he went to question one of the panelists, he introduced himself. The name rang a bell. So when he finished, I said, well, Your Honor, since you introduced yourself, time for me to introduce myself. And I did. The name didn't ring a bell to him. I said, it doesn't ring a bell, does it? I said, yours does. For 7 straight years, your name was one of 3 on denials of my appeals. And all the air kind of got sucked out of the room. People was like, what's getting ready to happen? I said, now that I got you here, something I want to say to you. And he was like, yeah. And I told him, you aren't wrong, sir. I wasn't ready. The second step is called baggage dump, because so many of us carry things through our lives that weigh us down. That whatever we're exposed to, influenced by, impacted by, nurtured by as children, directly impacts how we develop as adult human beings. It's not a means of making excuses for why people do what they do, but a way for people to understand maybe what the motivations are. Eventually, it's not just those who hurt him, but those who threaten to. What may begin as a very, very simple realities for us will become anything but clear or simple. Over time, this man-child is acting in a preemptive fashion. He strikes out at anyone he believes may even be thinking about doing him harm. Before long, his target is anyone or anything that gets in the way of his objectives. The evolution of this dysfunctional thinking is when he arrives at a place where he can do whatever he wants to anyone he wants for any reason. Blew me up on Facebook a few days ago and called me out. And they said, he's got people fooled. And once a felon, always a felon. And once this, always that. And there's no forgiveness for you. That's what they said. Now, part of it is true. Because once you have a felony, you always have a felony. The part that I really objected to was that there's no forgiveness for you. There's no forgiveness for you, this person said. I would hope that that's not true. I don't believe it's true. Do you guys? You know, I mean, if that's the case, why go forward? Superstition says that you never say never going back, or you'll go back. And I believe the opposite, that you have to speak power to words. And I hope that at some point, when people are triggered by circumstances, events, some thoughts, some desires, some craving, that maybe they hear my voice saying, what the f is your problem? Excuse me. Did I say that? No. You know, I want the words sometimes to boom in at those times. Anyway, thank you for coming out. I really appreciate y'all. You've always shown me love here. Rhoda, I love you and your family. Y'all a big part of mine, so thanks.